Liverpool FC. Just had to chat that in there. Who got eliminated from the Champions League last night to be fair, the defending champs, do you know what I mean? And the team that played the best football in Europe and have been for the last 2 seasons, PSG. And it looked I watched most of the game whilst at a game, so I was watching it on my phone. But I was like, you guys gave a good effort. I don't think you guys were gonna win anyway. But PSG weren't at their best, and that was partly because of how you guys played, although they should have dismantled you lot in the first leg. But how do you feel like your season has gone in general, following being the Premier League champions last season, and then you've got a couple legends that are leaving this season in Salah and Robertson, and your optimism for Liverpool going forward?
I mean, it's not been a great season, in personal opinion. I think, I think Slot has got to go, if I'm being honest. I think he's just lost. I think he's lost a bit of the dressing room. I think he's lost a large part of the fan base.
Right.
Mainly because I don't think his press conferences help himself.
I think that's partly the Dutch in general, because we
Yeah.
had this problem with Ten Hag and then somewhat Van Gaal. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I watched the first half.
no offense to our Dutch viewers and listeners, so, you know.
Because I watched the first half yesterday, and I mean, I think he should have started Rio, to be honest. Because if you take away his age, if you're going on form and ability, he would start. So I think the only reason he didn't was because he's young. But so I was literally watching the first half, knowing Isak was probably going to come off, and hoping Rio was going to come on. And then as soon as he brought Gakpo on, I turned it off because I thought that was. So I mean, and going on last night, I think we were always going to give it a go, Anfield, but like you said, I never thought he was going to turn it around or get close to turning it around.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with that game in particular, as long as PSG weathered whatever storm you threw at them, they were just going to turn it around and then eventually get their goals to kill off the tie. And that's more or less what happened in that sense. And obviously unfortunate for Ekitike, who I believe has ruptured his Achilles. So he will not only be missing the World Cup, but basically out all of next season, more or less. They say 9 months, but it's probably a 12-month thing.
Yeah.
And Ekitike has been arguably, well, one, he's been your signing of the season. He's been one of your few bright sparks. So to see his season end like that, I think it's a shame, because one, just any player in general, but two, he's a real good player and he's going to miss a World Cup as well. And for you guys, the final stretch to get that Champions League qualification.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been one of our best players, if not the best player. Consistently, I think.
I'd say Szoboszlai has been your most consistent, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's burnt out a little bit the last month or so. Which
Yeah.
Expected, because he literally was a one-man team, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think him and, Ekitike, well, like, Ekitike's just all-round game is just good to watch, I think. So yeah, it's a shame to see him go off last night, and especially even though Isak's back, he's far, far, far away from being sharp. So I don't think.
Yeah. Even for the rest of the season, we're not going to see the best of him.
Especially the form Salah's in. Like, you just question where goals are going to come from, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was the thing last night, especially, like, I think it's time for Salah to go, and we move on and try and build in a different direction. But I still would have started him last night, purely because you look at the squad, and if someone was going to score, it was going to be him.
Yeah.
Champions League, like, you don't really look at anyone else and go, oh, get a feeling they're going to score.
With this current team, especially.
Yeah. So
I was surprised to not see him start, to be fair.
Yeah. So I think his Slot's team selections have just been strange. Even, I think he brought Gomez on and then took him off 20 minutes later.
Yeah,
well.
I saw that.
2-0 down, why he's bringing Gomez on anyway.
Yeah.
Just bring Rio on earlier. That's what is annoying. You just wasted a sub. So, yeah, I think he's scrambling and overthinking things, and he's probably. I don't see it, especially the money he spent this year. I don't. Too much needs doing to bring it back now. So I think we've just got a clean slate. I think.
Fair. So even if you guys get Champions League, he should still go.
Yeah, I think so. Just because the drop off from last year, and again, this is his team now. He didn't really have his team last year. It was sort of a back end of Klopp's team.
Oh, well, it was still Klopp's team because the only player you guys signed last year was Chiesa, and he didn't really contribute. But on that, do you think? Because me, I do generally like to give managers time. I'm always patient with managers. Do you feel him winning the league in his first season, even though it was Klopp's team, earns him enough credit in the bank if you guys get Champions League this year? Because he's still, as much as I banter you guys about basically nearly spending 500 million, he's still kind of molding his team. And you guys have had like a lot of your only consistent players that have played throughout the season, whether that's injury or poor form related, is Van Dijk and arguably Szoboszlai and probably Gravenberch. Like they've been your ever presence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's also
like, you guys have had some injuries.
I think it's the brand of football as well. Though. I think he's
fair.
They're hard to watch, if I'm being honest. Now I think it is a lot slower. It was. I mean, not many managers are going to play the same way as Klopp anyway. But last year we still attacked quickly and entertaining to a certain point, whereas this year we do look so short of ideas going forward that, and there just doesn't seem to be an urgency to one to actually go out and win a game and take it by the scruff of the neck. It just seems like we'll keep the ball and just hope we win or hope something happens. So I think that's why a lot of fans are probably at the end of their patience with him, to be honest.
Fair. If Slot goes, I don't think the manager market's that great at the moment, but if Slot goes, is there anyone in particular you want? There's probably one big name linked with you guys already, ex-player. So
I think the obvious one would obviously be a lot, but I think if he didn't, I personally, I mean, about a few weeks ago, I would have sat Slot and got Gerrard him to the end of the year, especially when we were in that really poor form. I think it would have been a good time to just do it because it couldn't have got any worse.
right.
We didn't look like we were going to get Champions League really with the form we were in. So it was one of them to just test the waters. If he does poorly, the crowd's lifted anyway because he's obviously a legend. So it's, but
fair. Yeah,
if he does well,
basically,
bonus, there was no. I didn't really see a negative to it, to be honest, because we were so bad at the time. So it couldn't get much worse. And then if he did do poorly, and you just look in the summer where it's probably a bit more of a market and easier to get a new manager in.
Yeah. No, that is true. Obviously, Alonso's been the big name that's linked with you guys, probably the odds-on favourite if Slot does get the sack. I think with the World Cup, it's making things a bit harder in terms of the manager market. Like me and my boys in our United chat were literally having this conversation the last couple of days, even again today, because just for instance, Nagelsmann, both clubs could go for him, but we know he will want to manage. Well, he's going to manage Germany during the World Cup. If he's to come into a new team, he's not going to have a pre-season.
Yeah,
which isn't ideal for a new manager. So
I just think Gerrard does something similar to what Carrick is doing, whereas you chuck him in when it is poor, and it can't get worse. So he can only bring a feel-good vibe to the club. So I think it was just worth a punt, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, sure. Because now United board have to really apparently they're really considering Carrick, and rightfully so, whether I think or United fans think he should get the job or not, because of the job he's done up to this stage. And if we're to get Champions League, he needs to be in real contention because again, it's somewhat an overachievement thing. So yeah. On to your legendary players that are leaving the club. Mo Salah and Andy Robertson. One, how do you feel that they're leaving? It's if it's the right time, and just their whole tenureship at your football club and what they've done, and somewhat where they rank in your Liverpool legends.
I mean, Salah's stats and what he's done obviously speak for himself. Like, I think he's definitely in the conversation. Probably one of Liverpool's best players ever to play in the Premier League. I think it's
Mhm,
probably he probably a good argument to say that he is, just off of what he's done and trophies and
mm,
goals and stuff. So, but again, like I said, I think our game evolved so much around him with Trent there as well that I think without the pair of them, I think it is probably time to start the rebuild on that right hand side properly.
mhm,
Because our game was so evolved, right? And he has such a unique way of playing that is out on that right, where it's you don't really have another player similar to the way he plays. So I think it's probably a harder replacement than what people think. So I think it is probably the time for him to go. And probably similarly with Robertson as well, that he was obviously so good for so long with Trent.
mhm.
But I think, I mean, and Kirk I'm not his biggest fan, but he has got better the last month or so.
He seems to be settling in a bit more now.
Yeah, so I think again it's probably time because Robertson probably doesn't want to sit and watch and and go play for Spurs in the Championship. So um,
That will be interesting.
yeah, so but, I mean, yeah, both definitely top. Salah's definitely probably top three of all time in the Premier League for Liverpool, and Robertson's probably definitely in the conversation of top 10 or at least the best left back that we've had in the Premier League. So
Yeah,
both,
I mean, Robertson will go down maybe as a top 3 to 5 Premier League left back in general,
yeah,
and maybe a top 10 fullback in because Robertson, the balance, him and Trent, they the way they complemented each other, which is weird to say for a fullback pairing, was insane. Like, I used to say the team kind of played through Trent, and that's the team in general.
mm,
But Robertson's uh, being so solid defensively and very good going forward brought just the balance in
yeah,
the team. And like, and in relation, you mentioned in Trent for Salah. Salah wasn't your explosive winger. He's more forward. He's explosive, but he's not a winger
yeah,
type.
yeah,
He's a forward type. And Trent wasn't the bombarding right back. You'd think he should be given the space that Salah would give his fullback, but their connection, their telepathy was just A1. Like Trent would know where Salah is, vice versa. They won't get in each other's
it
spaces.
was like Salah having his own personal creator like behind him. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it was like. That he gave Trent so much space to do what he does, and Salah could make any run, and Trent would put it for him. I think that it's a totally different dynamic if you have Frimpong playing behind him or
Mm,
Gomez. I think it works slightly with Szoboszlai being there because he can play it sort of similar to Trent.
yeah.
Being a midfield.
But then Salah's not the same level he
Yeah,
was.
exactly. Yeah, and also Szoboszlai has to play midfield because he's our best player at the minute. So
Yeah. I mean, all good things come to an end. Thank God both of them are leaving from a United fan's perspective. Because I think as an opposition player, if I'm not mistaken, and it's annoying to say this, Salah's got the most goals against Man United, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken, as an opposition player in the Premier League. And early on, he didn't really score against United. Then he
yeah,
just, once he did,
yeah. I feel like there's always a thing, wasn't there, of like, oh, he's not never scored against United, and then
yeah.
one, it was just relentless. Yeah,
Then once he did, the floodgates open, but it's good to see the back of them. But at the same time, as just a viewer of the beautiful game, it is great to see great players, regardless if they're at your ops team and stuff like that. And the way you guys played on the club, especially. Um, and that's why like Robertson was so good. It's like Robertson was a perfect player for Klopp.
Yeah, just the engine here.
in all facets. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if you guys spend the most again this summer with 2 players leaving, especially leaving for free. I think I saw Slot, say something about that, and it'll be interesting to see who their replacements are because, like you said, Salah's very hard to replace, even though he's not the same level he was. Just replacing him itself will be a big task, and there's now you want to maintain being at the elite world level. There's only a few that are of similar quality or better who are probably unattainable right now, i.e. Michael Olise, well, Bayern Munich's.
Yeah.
The board have said, yeah, he's going to be stupid expensive. And then obviously with this, when you guys made the Kirkes signing, I said it was good that you kept Robertson at the time because he was potentially going to leave last summer. But it was good that even if Robertson's not playing as much, he can somewhat guide him and help him like show the ropes and stuff like that. Because sometimes that transition stuff is good for players coming in when there's a bit of pressure, and then it'll probably be the same for your centre back that got injured. And if you're to buy another one in the summer, in terms of Van Dijk's replacement and stuff, and last one on that, even your keeper, Mama, I just call him Mama because 4 years long. Like, you guys signing him, it was a good backup in case Alisson leaves because he can be a number one.
Yeah.
Like, at Valencia, I thought he was a really good keeper anyway. So at the time when you guys signed him, I was surprised that he was willing to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
But
I think
his transition could be smooth once Alisson does leave.
But that's the thing is, we had that Klopp team, but they are sort of all getting
on
at the same time. Virgil isn't getting any younger. Alisson's, even though he's a keeper, with Mama, whatever his name is, coming in, like, he's not going to sit on the bench probably next year or the year after that waiting. So I think Alisson and Van Dijk were probably gonna. It wouldn't surprise me if Alisson goes this summer.
Yeah, so especially he's quite injury prone now as well.
And Verge again, maybe 1 more year
at a top level. Yeah.
So it is. So again, I feel a bit sorry for Slot because there is a big rebuild to be done. But the way he spent his money this year, I'm not sure if he's the man to do it.
I mean, you seem to be sure bantering me at the time. You're like, and before we move on from Liverpool, imagine Klopp. If Klopp put his name in the hat to come back, what would you say?
Oh yeah, without question.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, again, Klopp. What a guy. We should have had him. But he didn't like our board.